and I'm sure that, this shit needs to change.
How do you know that there was a minor involved?
I don't, but I made a report because I thought there was, and I reported it all.
That's creepy.
Yeah. And, you know what I mean? So, it's, and that was like a couple years ago already. So, I was in Washington State. I met these cops out in the woods, and they were playing fucking woods ball. And I was a tournament player, and they wanted to play against me, so I said, okay, I'll make it fair to you guys. There's 6 of you, there's 1 of me, let's just go 6 versus 1. And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna win. And I smoked them real quick. And they were like, oh shit. And so then they're like, we wanna play with you like more, and then I was like, well, we got this event down at STP in Snohomish. I didn't know that that guy's dad was the head of the West Coast FBI fucking trainer or whatever, 300,000 cops. That's it. He trains them how to do all their little aikido and their judo and shit. You know what I mean? That was his dad. Well, they're drug dealers. Well, so for 2 years I played on their team, and we fucking, right? And then basically I learned, that what was going on, and so then I fucking quit and their team, and that's when I moved to California. Was at the end of 2005. And I wish I would have quit their team a year earlier and moved in 2004, because I would have been a lot closer to Grandma, and I would have had a whole nother year with Grandma. And so that's the biggest regret I have in my life from that time in my life, was that I didn't come down here in 2004. And so they did all kinds of things. They would launder their money and through his business, and I mean, that store in Bellingham, you could probably Google it. It's called The Edge, and they do snowboard, paintball, skateboard, or whatever, clothes. I built that store. I fucking hung all the lights in the store. You know what I mean? I fucking did all the fucking work on the floor and shit. There's a bunch of people that worked on it, but I did a lot of work over there to put. You know what I mean? Before they did all the finishing stuff, I did a bunch of shit in there too. And then those guys were basically douchebags, and they were selling all their pot at the high school in what do you call it? In something or other lake over there, and it was just the whole paintball scene was nothing but these big. It turned out a lot of them were these pot and drug dealers. You know what I mean? And so then once those guys from Bellingham were clicked in with the Snohomish people, you know what I mean? Then they were dealing a lot more and whatever, and it was like, I wanted to get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? And they're bringing that shit across the border in Blaine and from Canada and like, I grew up in Washington. We used to see the reports all the time. Like, they would pull over a semi tractor full of fucking buds, and we always called it BC bud. It was like, it was good, but it wasn't the best, it wasn't like the freshest, it wasn't like the conic shit like the Cali Crunch, the Mexican, brickweed was way better, more potent, you know what I mean?